glad to be here in Mexico City, and it is a great pleasure for me to be here and associated with SPE, the Society of Petroleum Engineers, and a great opportunity for me to talk to some of the SPE members here, and especially in the technical area that involves oil and gas business in Mexico and all around the world, and what SPE has to offer in the areas of petroleum engineering, in the areas of technology, collection, dissemination, and exchange of technical ideas and technical information. As you all know, there is a tremendous challenge in the oil and gas business. There is a reduction of oil and gas production in many reservoirs around the world and also here in Mexico. And we see there is a production decline in many fields. So this provides as a great opportunity, and I would say the vision of our industry is to change the decline rate of many of these fields and make the decline rates much lower than what we have in many fields around the world. So one of the visions is to having the low decline rates for many fields, number one. Number two, it will be that all of the assets which are being operated around the world, they have a good surveillance and monitoring plan. They also have a good integrated reservoir management approach that people follow very, very seriously in terms of managing their assets. That all of the assets have a rigorous surveillance plan, monitoring plan, and they all are following an integrated reservoir management approach. As a result, we manage the reservoirs most economically in terms of increasing the economic recovery from these fields. So the vision for the decline type of projects for any country, and especially here in Mexico, is to define these declines very accurately, follow the integrated reservoir management approach, follow a very rigorous surveillance and monitoring approach, and then make it a very successful project in terms of improving the recovery of the oil and gas from the existing fields all around the world. Organization for the effective reservoir management is very important for maximizing the oil and gas recovery. Generally, the organization that many companies have can stay as it is. Organizations don't have to be changed drastically. However, within the existing organization, there could be opportunities in terms of forming the multifunctional integrated teams where the geologists, the geophysicists, the reservoir engineers, the production engineers, the facilities engineers, the operations people, all of them are working together in terms of maximize the value of the oil and gas. So an integrated approach to reservoir management should be followed in any organization, in my opinion. And those could be as a project teams, as a project task force, and could be multifunctional teams where every discipline is involved in managing the projects. So in summary, what I'm proposing or what I'm conveying here is that we can exist with the existing organizations, but at the same time, a multifunctional team approach could be developed, and when we have an integrated reservoir management, it could be a very successful approach of maximizing oil and gas recovery from the existing fields. This approach has been followed in the industry in many areas all around the world, and everyone has been successful by following this approach. And it gets everybody talking to everybody and everybody working like a well-coordinated football or soccer team or a well-coordinated basketball team, and everybody is trying to maximize the value of the oil and gas assets that they operate. In terms of competency building, it is very important that for integrated reservoir management to be successful, we have very competent people. And this is the area that industry is facing the maximum challenge, which is in the areas of competencies. Because we have a bimodal distribution of the workforce today. We have a lot of workforce at the age of 50 or over, and we have a lot of younger people. This is an area where SPE, the Society of Petroleum Engineers, can play a very important role in terms of collecting technical information, disseminating technical information, and exchanging this technical information. Just the SPE website, the spe.org, has over 90,000 technical papers that is accessible to all the SPE members around the world. So by becoming an SPE member, we have an opportunity to look at these publications, look at these informations. SPE has conferences all around the world. SPE has applied technology workshops, the forums, the other conferences where we can take our younger people, expose them to this kind of opportunities, and as a result, their competency is built. SPE also has an electronic mentoring program. SPE has these technical information groups. So in the terms of building the competency, organization like SPE can play a very important role. But I think it's very important for all the organizations in the oil and gas business to be focusing on the competency in terms of increasing the knowledge level of our young talents that are entering the oil and gas business and will be responsible for managing the oil and gas business in the long term. Regarding the decline projects, I've been personally involved with many declination type of projects around the world. And I have seen that properly defining the decline rate, which is the base decline rate, is a very important thing, number one thing. Number two thing is not only defining the base decline rate, but then learning from the reservoir. Lessons learned, best practices, know-hows, and bringing all of that information to the company is very important. And propagating that knowledge around the company is very important. Then having a good surveillance and monitoring plan. Then having a good integrated reservoir management approach, working in a multifunctional team, looking at the opportunities in the field in terms of infill drilling, in terms of workovers, in terms of pattern realignment, in terms of, like say, gas fields, looking at refracturing opportunities. And by combining the technology, by combining the integrated team, some of these declination that is happening around the world can be improved significantly. And I have seen those things improve whenever I have been involved with projects like these. And whenever people have focused on those projects and worked hard by following some of the approaches that I just pointed out. So in summary, I would say any kind of declination project provides the industry as an opportunity. And it can be definitely reverse those decline rates, or definitely those decline rates could be reduced significantly. And it can add more production, it can add incremental recovery, and in turn it can add significant amount of incremental reserves for a given asset or for a given company.